Hello, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle.
Yep, that is what we're doing today. And every day we want to welcome everybody who's watching live and on the replay. Today is Friday. We're talking text in English, and we're having fun doing it. We've got Clubhouse over here, and we got
Folks on
Facebook, no, not Instagram, not yet, but we've got Facebook, we've got
YouTube.
YouTube, yes, Periscope, aka Twitter. So we're having fun.
Jerry.
And Dr. Tachi is over here, and Tyrell. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, Dr. Tachi, I got your message.
Oh,
Yep, we got you.
Wait, good morning.
Good morning. Options are fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm playing with my camera. I'm gonna stop on the roller coaster. Okay. So I guess we're starting with this day in tech history.
Yes, please.
Okay. As I learn to look at the camera. So the first story I'm going to go with is May 10th, 1894. Wireless is born when Guglielmo. Anyway, Mr. Marconi sends a radio wave 3/4 of a mile. 3 years later, the Marconi Company will successfully communicate ship to shore over a distance of 12 miles. Marconi's work leads to the commercialization and proliferation of most of the radio technologies we know today. I was like, wow. May 12th, 1941, German engineer Konrad Zuse unveils the Z3, now generally recognized as the first fully functional programmable computer. Because Germany was fighting World War II, not much was known about the Z3 until after the war.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I do have a picture of that. Looks like a museum. Anyway. We're getting all these stories from this day in tech history. Pardon me?
Was the computer large? You said you had
the computer was huge. It took up the room.
Like a mainframe?
Yeah, it was like a mainframe, but it was programmable.
Oh, okay.
Right, which is a little different than the ones that this was programmable. I think I saw it in a movie that starred oh my gosh, I see his face. Cumberbatch, what's his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that one. He was in a movie that looked like he was messing with a machine that resembles this one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Was it Dr. What was his name?
It wasn't Dr. Strange. It was another movie where he was a German scientist or something. It could have been one of the British films, but he was a German. It had something to do with history. And he was the one using they were trying to figure out some stuff.
Okay.
With the Nazis and whatever, and he was using this particular computer.
Okay. Wow.
Very interesting.
I saw that movie. It's called The Imitation Game.
Yeah, that's
2014.
Thank you. Somebody knew what I was talking about.
I knew the movie. I didn't know the name. That's why I looked it up.
Oh, right. Thank you, Jake.
You're welcome.
That's why.
Francine, before you go on, can you move them a little closer to the speaker so we can hear them better?
Sure. How about if I turn you guys up? How's that? Say something, Terry.
How are you today? We're so glad you decided to join us today over
Hello,
here on
hello.
Clubhouse.
Yeah,
Dr.
that sounds better.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. I just needed to raise the volume on my computer. Okay, then let's see, where do I want to go? Into the Ethernet. Digital Equipment, Intel, and Xerox jointly announced the Ethernet network specification. Ethernet is the predominant networking standard of today's business and home networks. I had no idea that the three of them had gotten together. I don't know who Digital Equipment is, but I do know Intel and Xerox.
Mm-hmm.
And they got together, and that was in 1980. Didn't we have Ethernet cords prior to that? Apparently not.
Oh, really? It seems like we did, but okay.
Yeah, May 13th, 1980.
Good morning, Tim.
Wow.
We got Tim Gillette in the house.
Hey, Tim. This one is a little different. May 13th, 1985, the British rock band Dire Straits releases their fifth album, Brothers in Arms, which will become the first CD to sell over 1 million copies.
Wow.
And this was in 1985. It was the most successful album release on compact disc for over 2 decades. Hey, Amir. And so then this is my final story. May 14th, 1973, the United States launches Skylab 1. It's the first manned space station. It is the last launch of the Saturn V rocket and the largest payload ever launched into space at the time. Skylab will fall back to Earth into Earth's atmosphere in July 1979. Hey, Mark.
Mark Ward.
So that is your week in tech history. Whenever I hear Skylab, I think of the movie Terminator, where what was it, the Skynet was doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Skynet was the movie in Terminator.
Oh, okay.
I mean, was the system in Terminator that caused problems.
I see. You guys had these movies down. Well, since you have movies down, I'm going to lead with this one. Roku Channel is adding 30 titles from Quibi, including shows with Kevin Hart and Christy Teigen on May 20th. So you'll be able to get some extra shows if you have a Roku or Roku TV and you download the Roku channel. I like the Roku channel because it's sort of like my TV. It has some old things, but since I binge watch stuff, I'm able to go back and see what really happened because I was working during those times. So I find it really entertaining.
Dr. Tachi has something. Go ahead, Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Tachi.
Well, I'll just cross that story off of my list now. Thank you.
Roku is the new home for Quibi Shorts. Okay, these new arrivals will be collected under the Roku Originals library with prominent placement on the Roku channel among the 30 new shows coming to the Roku channel. Okay, so I just wanted you to know Quibi is not dead. They did find somebody to sell their content to, and evidently someone was in the market for it. And it turned out to be
a bargain bin.
Go ahead, Mark.
I said it was in the bargain bin.
It was in the bargain bin, and they scooped it up. Right?
The bargain bin.
Well, in my opinion, they should have. Well, Quibi is dead because Quibi is now Roku Originals. So if they were formerly the content formerly known as Quibi is now Roku. So
is now
formerly known as Prince.
I see.
So I think, in my opinion, I think that they really should have sought to sell much earlier. They should have sought to be acquired when they saw the way it was going. And you know what? They didn't have any warning. It was just 6 months after the launch that they said we're going away. And that was because of the bravado and arrogance of thinking, because they were Hollywood insiders, that they knew what audiences wanted from a digital platform. And clearly they did not. So, they didn't have their finger on the pulse. And, that has always been my argument with Quibi. So now that they found, so I hope they're happy. I hope they're good. And maybe don't be surprised if you find them taking another stab at the digital space. But this time more informed.
Right.
Let us
be jumping in there.
Yeah. Let us pray that they go to a trusted source like the people to find out what they want. Okay. Okay, I got a couple of, okay, here's one. Facebook-backed digital currency project Deem is moving from Switzerland to the US. Remember Libra? Once ambitious Facebook-backed digital currency project, formerly known as Libra, is now Diem, D-I-E-M. It's shifting operations from Switzerland to the US and said its plans to launch a cryptocurrency tied to the US dollar later this year. Now, this might work. I think they were just ahead of their time as far as our psychology at large in the US around cryptocurrency, but there's really been a shift. And I think this might work. And it says here, who are they in partnership with? It says here, DM Association, which includes Facebook and 25 other companies, remember, said Wednesday has it entered a partnership with Silvergate Capital Corporation to issue stablecoin backed by the US dollar. A stablecoin is a digital currency backed by real world assets, such as national currencies and or commodities. So they're coming in with, at least we know it's backed by something.
Okay,
although the question is, what is our stuff backed by? But that's a whole nother. Air is air. Okay.
I was like, our money is not backed by anything. So what?
Listen, it's a well-kept secret. Just
it ain't a secret. We all know. Somebody call a note, we're gonna be in trouble.
We are going to be in deep stuff. So I wanted you to
wait a minute, Terry. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Well, people still are under the first grade notion that our currency is still backed by gold.
Okay.
I think people don't understand. No, it hasn't been backed by gold for a long time. So
the 70s. Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Since the 70s. So when they told us that in school, it was a lie. So I think people don't realize, and like you said, it's a well-kept secret. And because we're used to it and we have some faith in it, that's why we do it. But basically, if you look at what we have, it's the same as any of these cryptocurrencies.
Exactly.
A wish and a prayer.
And that's why I think it's going to work this time, because we're aware with all of this trading going on and education around the fact that there's nothing backing that either. So,
okay, so before you move on, this is Facebook heading this up. Why should we trust it?
Because they got more money than the U.S. government.
No.
No. Just saying.
No, it's still Facebook heading it up. And they didn't say Goldman Sachs was one of the 25. They didn't say some credible banking system was one of the 25.
Trust Goldman Sachs. Okay.
No, Goldman Sachs, somebody that's been in the money game, somebody else. But okay, who are the 25 that are in there? Because I don't even know. It said Facebook, and who was the other people? It
said Silvergate Capital Corporation.
Okay, who are they?
Also the Swiss Financial Markets Authority.
And who are they?
I don't know, because I'm not into all of these different, what do you call them? Entities, corporations, and agencies.
Right. And okay, so my point
And
is
when they first announced Libra, they did put out the list, so we can Google the list.
okay, but I'm just saying Libra didn't go so well. They announced Libra and then didn't do
You know
anything.
something, Francine? A lot of times things do not go well initially because you're too early out the gate, and people are not psychologically ready. I mean,
Because you help them not be psychologically ready, being the master of none.
Right.
Nobody's going to
well,
be
you know,
psychologically ready for that.
we might not buy their cryptocurrency, but people are accepting the idea that cryptocurrency is a thing.
Yes, I agree with that, but not from Facebook.
Not
Because
from
remember,
Facebook.
Well, it depends on who you
right.
are.
But remember, Facebook has a problem that they have not faced or fixed. Remember the Cambridge Analytica scandal and the privacy? That's when everything opened up, and we were like, Facebook just doesn't care about your privacy. You can't put anything there because hackers and everything. And then again, like Dr. Tati says, they're the master of none. They throw stuff on the wall and see if it sticks. So who wants to be a part of what Facebook is doing when it comes to your personal data? I don't. Nobody does, because it goes back. Remember, before Cambridge Analytica, people were kind of happy about Facebook. Now it's done, and they haven't fixed their problem. They're just throwing things out. Oh, Clubhouse this, do that, this, that.
I agree with you, Terry. But let's move to another subject. Who really is safe from hackers after the
Nobody.
pipeline issue? The pipeline.
And we understand that. But okay, so are we still on Facebook? And then
we're on cryptocurrency.
And crypto. We're still talking.
You want to talk about crypto? Okay.
I'm just saying that nobody is safe from hackers.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Right.
Which was demonstrated by the pipeline issue, and they just paid the $5 million.
Right. And they still don't have the gas going back in.
No, okay. But then we want to put Facebook at the helm.
Right. No, that's what I mean.
That's the problem. It's not the crypto. It's not the others. It's Facebook running it. That's the problem. That's all we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
Dr. Tachi.
Yeah, no, I agree. First of all, anybody who even has the notion of putting master of none in charge of anything, I think they need a long vacation to think about that nonsense. That's number one. But number two, we're not safe from any of these things.
Nope.
And probably never will be, because the powers that be don't take technology seriously. They do just what works well enough to get by.
Right.
Like that hip hop song says. They don't want to invest any money in infrastructure for any of this. And then you wonder why look, this hacking was just waiting to happen. It just happened to happen now.
Yep.
So I'm like, I don't know why people are surprised and buying gas in barrels and plastic bags. You knew this was going to happen, but you just turned a blind eye. You don't want to invest in the infrastructure or technology to keep things safe. So until you take technology seriously, this, unfortunately, United States of America is going to be your lot in life.
I'm going to add to that, Taji. She's absolutely right. I'm going to add to that Terralina and I know the inner workings of how your government works, because we've been inside, and they are steps. I don't even want to say steps. I want what's bigger than steps behind. They are so yes, they're years behind. Because I don't know if I told this story. Like when I moved from advertising and I went to work for the EPA, which is a federal government agency, and I got there and looked at their tech and was like, why are you people are still on an old version of when I was like, what? What?
And you
they
didn't
are
even
so
remember
behind.
what that version was, did you?
I was like,
you had to go back and find the book to refresh.
It blew my mind. I'm thinking, this is the government. They're supposed to be ahead. So I'm coming from private industry and coming into government, the government world, I'll call it, and the way they do things, it would blow your mind. And they're still, I know they're still doing it to this day. They're still operating that way, behind. And not steps behind. I want to think what's something big, like bigger
Yeah.
than
Decades. We're talking decades.
eons. They are years
They're
behind in
decades
technology.
behind.
So they cannot regulate anything
Like, here we go.
technology wise or internet wise because they don't know they're behind. So
Oh, they know they're behind. They know
know
that
it.
when they take the
Mhm.
lowest bid. You know what I'm saying, Terry?
Right. Right. And I
Carlos
laugh.
is in the house. How you doing, Carlos? Go ahead.
And I laugh when they bring Zuckerberg and the Twitter guy and Google. I laugh when they bring them to, oh, you're not going to do anything to these. They're laughing at you because they know that you don't know. And it's a show when they bring them to, oh, well, we're going to have this hearing. Like, I don't even pay attention to it.
Well,
Like
they
the
know
government.
they came to the hearing in a limousine. You came to the hearing in an Uber. Okay.
The government don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what questions to ask. Okay, so Carlos is saying to you guys, I love remote controlling submarine with my DJ drone controller.
DJI drone controller.
Hi, Maureen. How you doing this morning? So, guys, that's the things I just want you to reflect on.
Yeah, and the whole hacking thing is if they're breaking in to bank accounts where the data was compromised and they haven't fixed it, yes, there's going to be hacking happening in other places.
Yes.
And so and you can't. Okay, so I don't know why you would look to the government for this particular hacking situation. The pipeline is run by who? It's not the government. I think
it's a private entity. Yeah. And the thing about
yes, see, going cheap is not good. Pay for the help, people.
And then the thing about the pipeline I've read is that when they paid the money, that the hackers gave them a slow encryption key.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes. So
they did.
They still haven't fixed
they
it.
pay. That's right. It's going to take 2 weeks. So let's look at this. So the pipeline, when it happened, they paid the money right away. They didn't wait. They lied and said that, oh, we're not paid. They had already paid. So they got the key.
Even though
they paid whenever it happened. Whenever it happened last week.
Yeah.
Whenever it happened, they paid right away. So the hackers gave them the encryption key to get everything going back on, but it's a slow key. And that's why they're saying it's going to take 2-3 weeks for everything because of the flow of the oil through the pipeline is however they hacked it.
Yes. And they're thinking about, well, maybe we shouldn't have paid if it was going to take this long anyway, because we could have figured it out.
Well,
go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Yeah, this is why they need to really look at, okay, so at the school I teach at, University of Maryland Global Campus, they actually have a very big cybersecurity program. So I hope to high heaven that these students come out and start to get hired by the government so that they can start to, because I on top of them not wanting to spend money, that's also another thing. They're being cheap in terms of bringing people in. So if you're offering only X amount, but
salary wise, is that what you're talking about? Are we talking about salaries here, Tachi?
Yeah, we're talking about salaries, exactly. There's no need for me to go and work for you. Government, obviously the government thing also includes the benefits, so I know people weigh that as well. But if I could make more money working for a private entity or a private firm, why would I then go through the wahala of working for you? And then to the point of the lowest bidder, because both you and both Terrys have worked for the government. I was a government contractor. I used to be a tour guide for the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, where they make the money. So when I was in grad school, that's what I used to do. I used to take people on tours of the money. I know more about money than I care to know. But I remember when the contract for the contractor I was working for was up, the new one that was bidding sneakily sent somebody in line to try and see how we were. I was like, you people are moles. I already know. You cannot fool the adept. So they ended up getting the contract because they so far underbid everyone else. But where did they suffer? in the quality of the tour guides that they have because they weren't paying anything. And so that's what happens. The quality suffers when you decide you want to be cheap. So imprinting, trying to be cheap, that's what you got.
Right.
And I want to add one thing about this pipeline. It's the what is it? Colonial Pipeline Company. They're in Atlanta, Alpharetta, Georgia. They put out an ad yesterday for a job opening, manager of cybersecurity.
No, wait, we didn't have this job. This job wasn't available before.
I don't know. Maybe they fired the person that was in the position, or maybe this is a new. They didn't say what, but this was like a big thing I saw on Twitter yesterday. Everybody was like, "You're just now advertising that you need a cybersecurity manager when you should have had one 10, 15 years ago." So I don't know. I don't know if it's a new job or if the person left.
So should the federal government. They should have a division. and we're trying to get a division.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what I'm saying? But we got some comments over here too. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So Carlos got some comments, which is going to tie into my comment. He said next week will be the power grid, and the blocking of the water. Remember that movie with what was the movie with Bruce Willis, Live Free or Die Hard? Live Free or Die Hard. He hacked everything, power grid, water, everything, and had the signal lights.
Oh yes,
controlled everything. And this was in Washington D.C. And I was like, somebody better take a hint from the movie because.
Well, you see it all the time too on different shows where they're hacking into the lights so that they can, ride right through.
Or do whatever they wanted to do. I'm thinking to myself, if the movies are already doing it, somebody already did it.
Exactly. The Hollywood has the movies out that foreshadow or foretell.
Yes.
Because I remember the first Die Hard movie when they blew up the Nakasami whatever. That was 9/11. It looked exactly like that.
Exactly the same. I was like, oh my God.
I witnessed. It looked just like the movie. It was just like the movie. So, and when did Die Hard come out? The first one.
1980 something.
There you go. So Hollywood, and I think somebody has a blog where they have all these movies and they talk about the movie and it happening in real life, like foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so maybe we need to take a hint, like, okay, that movie is out. Y'all, I said Skynet and Terminator. Somebody better be taking notes.
I know we really do need to be concerned about our water supply. I told you I had some inside information. I got water in my garage. Okay.
And nobody paid attention when Shonda Rhimes was writing all this stuff on Scandal about the
yes.
No, it's not. It did not live out.
Yes.
So we need to pay attention because the thing is, if Hollywood and creatives can dream these things up, it can happen. Anybody who can dream up something can make it happen. So you need to pay.
Oh my God. Yes.
And wasn't it a scandal where the president they had him in a coma somewhere and they were trying to figure out how to run the government? Yes. Remember that? And then the hacking of the voting machines, that was a part of the scandal storyline, all of that.
Okay, Angel has fallen, Olympus has fallen. Somebody better take Olympus has fallen is what? May, what was that? January 6th?
When they invaded the Capitol.
We better pay
Mark
attention
says
to whatever.
Here that he is hacking Biz Chicks and that it'll cost us $32 in an ice vente mocha to be freed. And Carlos is saying, keep in mind that the new iPad is faster than the Pentagon altogether. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm going to have nightmares.
True. Yes. He says they are hiring a new target.
The pipeline. He's the pipeline. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then he says the password for nuclear codes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That was Jesus. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Then he says, remember that in Star Trek, they had iPads in
Yes,
the
they
They
60s.
did
did.
in the 1960s. They sure did.
Mhm. How you doing, Pat? So welcome to the
Yeah, I'm just
conversation.
saying people need to pay attention. And
Oh
then
my gosh.
you there are some things that you can do to protect your own realm.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm.
You know, TJ has talked about two-factor authentication, and now she's taking it a step deeper. Correct, TJ?
Yes, I am. What do you mean?
So the two-step authentication is a start, but then you need to go deeper than
Oh,
that to check to keep your stuff safe.
right. You need the two, and remember the two-factor authentication. Authorization can be a text message to your phone, and that's not really the most secure one. You want to have the an app. A Google Authenticator app is a good one to use.
Oh, okay.
And when you first install it, it confuses you because it's just codes running. It just
Yes.
every 6-10 seconds they change. Those are the codes that you need to enter in when Twitter or Instagram or whatever asks you to log in when you have the 2FA turned on.
Okay.
So but they offer several different types, like the text messaging, and people think that's okay, but that's how Barack Obama and other people's Twitter account got hacked because they had the 2FA text messaging on. So somehow they got connected with that, and the code went to them instead of going to President
Oh, my
Obama
goodness.
and all of these other people. So that's why you don't want the text messaging one. You want to have the app, and it's a pain. But you get used to it. Whenever I try to log into an account and it says, "Oh, enter your code," and I'm like, and then I got to pull the thing out, and then I just with Apple, you just tap and copy, and it goes everywhere, so you don't have to type it in. But
Right.
you want to have that app. Mm-hmm.
And you want to do that, especially if you're dealing with other people's private information, because that little headache of doing that is going to cost you a lot less than the money you would pay if somebody else's stuff got breached on your watch.
And turning on two-factor authentication for Facebook and Google, especially for Google. If someone tries to hack into your Gmail or your Google account, Google will send you a message to any device saying, "Is this you?"
Yes.
Trying to log in, and they even show where the person is. Like if I'm in New York, if it's something from California, I know that's not me because I'm in New York. Also, Facebook will do it too. If you try to log in a new place, Facebook will send you a message saying, "Is this you trying to log in?" And you have to tap yes.
Right. So, and then they said, "You asked us to send you a code." And I'm like, I don't know. Did I ask you to send me a code? But it won't let me in my own Facebook account until I go to wherever I sent it and tell it, yes, this is me. Right. It won't let me in. Right. I was like, okay.
It's a pain, but you want to have, it's like a double lock.
Yes. Well, Mark says, I'm old fashioned. If you're going to hack me, you must at least buy me dinner first. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I'm not touching that, Mark. You got jokes.
All right, well, TJ, I'm done.
It's okay, on you, my dear.
All right, so this week in social media news, we're going to start with Discord. We rarely talk about them. Okay, so Clubhouse is this hot app, audio, social audio. Everybody wants to be a part of it. So Discord, they are, I think I mentioned before that they were testing out the audio chats, but now they've announced a new feature that's going to have this audio chat. It's called Stage Discovery and makes it possible for Discord users to easily find live audio conversations happening across the various communities that exist on the app. Okay, they're also going to test ticketed events for the stage channel conversation. So they're doing a two-pronged thing. They're letting you find audio chats, and then they're giving the person that or people that are starting the audio chat, you get a chance to have it as a ticketed event, like an Eventbrite or Patreon type, where you have to pay a fee and then you get to go into the conversation, the audio conversation.
And this is in Discord.
This is in Discord. Now, the way Discord works is that it has you set up a server. So if I set up Discord server, and then it has different channels, but it's like inside of a bubble, and you have to be invited in. So this stage discovery is Discord saying, we're going to show you these public audio chats that you could possibly join, and you might have to pay depending on how the person set it up. And of course, you'll have to get permission or probably invited. But because Discord is like different servers, that if you're not invited or part of the server, you don't get to see what's going on. That's the privacy part of it. So mainly with Discord, you have to be invited. You have to be invited or get an invite. And then you come in, and then you see how the person who set up the Discord server, how they have different channels. Okay. Gary V has one that he started for his V friends, and I joined the Discord. So it's too many conversations, so I don't really look at it. So if you have a Discord server like hers, there's like conversations like Twitter, like blah, 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 blah. If you have a slower one, you can probably manage it. I have another one that, you know, people post 2 or 3 things a day, and I can manage that. But in Gary's Discord, there's like thousands of conversations, so I can't keep up with it. But that's how Discord works. So they're adding this audio chat feature, and it's going to launch in early June. They're saying it's similar to Clubhouse, so we'll see how that works.
Okay.
Does anybody use Discord besides me?
I do.
Okay, I knew Tachi did. Anybody?
I've seen it because of a class that I took with Seth Godin, and he uses Discord for something over there, and I couldn't quite figure it out. So
okay, it is a little. It's simple to use, but the interface is a little confusing if you're not familiar. It takes a while to get used to it. Now, Discord was launched in 2015 as a chat service for gamers, so gamers were using it a lot, and now they, you know, again, things start out for one group and it gets adopted by another one. So people are starting to use it now. If you like a particular TV show or a network, someone could start a Discord server, and then you talk about that TV show in a bubble. It's like being in a bubble. Like here's
so can I say it's like Facebook groups, but not in Facebook?
Right.
Correct.
That's
Okay.
exactly it. That's
Like
exactly
Facebook
it.
rooms, you just don't get any video.
Right. And there's no ads. Now, Discord does not rely on ad revenue. They make money through something called Nitro. It's a service itself for $9.99 a month or $99 a year that gives them additional features like you can have different emojis. You can have a high resolution vid. They give you add-ons and you pay for that. But Discord is free. There are no ads. But
Wow.
it was based, you know, gamers started it, so it has the mindset is a little different when you're using it. A lot of people are moving to it because of, like Fran said, the Facebook groups, the bubble. You're in a bubble and no one can get in unless they're invited, and then the person that owns it can kick people out and stuff, just like a Facebook group. But that's Discord, so they're getting into the Clubhouse game. And speaking of Clubhouse.
Mhm.
Clubhouse is start beta testing this Android app, and they roll out a beta version of its invite only audio. So you know it's still invite only, even though it's beta. Right now it's the US, and they're going to it's the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and then it's going to roll out globally. So
Can
go
we-
ahead.
Do you know if we can cross pollinate? Like if you're Apple, can you invite Android, etc.?
Yeah, you can
That's
now
a good
invite.
You can.
You
Okay.
can. I just looked at it on the
Okay.
What's New this morning. You can now invite your Android friends.
Oh, good.
They will still be on a waiting list until they get
Right.
until their turn comes up. But they will. You can invite Android friends.
Okay.
Right. So so there's the Clubhouse. And it isn't that great. So now people can say, well, we're not keeping Android people out, which
Yes. Which
so now
Dr.
they're in a
Tachi
party.
We'll be glad to know. Doc, you don't
They're
get a lot
they're
of
in a
invites.
party. I did hear that the Android version doesn't work the same as the iOS version. I heard that. Now I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard. You know,
Oh.
people in little groups, Facebook groups or online or Twitter complaining
when-
that it doesn't work the same.
Well,
I don't
wouldn't
know.
it not work the same? Even Instagram does not work the same on Android as it does
True.
on iOS. There, and it is different because it's a different operating system. It will be a little bit different.
Right. But that was the complaint. So I don't know any details about the, but there's gonna be complaints.
Yeah. But they still want to use it. Why are they complaining? Okay.
Yeah. What can we do? All right. So let's move on to I got some YouTube. Let me get I got so many notes here. I got to scroll. All right. YouTube is testing automatic translations in the user's native language. They're saying that some people were reporting that they were seeing their they're seeing English video titles and captions translated into Portuguese and Turkish. So YouTube has announced that they are experimenting with this tool that will automatically translate English videos into your language. So if you're in another country and you use YouTube, and then if you follow your country's language videos, then YouTube is going to say, oh well, we can translate these. So it's a test. So some people they say they're seeing translation options for video titles, descriptions, and closed captions on the web, desktop, and mobile app. So again, people have only reported that seeing English in the Portuguese and English in the Turkish. So it's a test on those two areas.
Okay.
And it's so they haven't YouTube hasn't really said, well, we're going to do this country and that country. They're just doing it and people are reporting on it. And as you know, Google has the translate feature for the web, the browser. When you go to a website that's in another language, it will ask you, do you want to translate this into your language? So it's probably an option like that. All right. So YouTube is also announced $100 million fund to pay people who post videos on Shorts. Now remember, Shorts is their TikTok-like feature in YouTube in the app, that the videos are 15, 30 seconds, just like YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, TikTok. So they want to monetize this feature, and they also want people to use it. So it's to help. And also here's another thing. Anyone who creates shorts is eligible to participate in the fund, not just YouTube partner program creators. Because YouTube has the partner program creator. That's the part where you get is it 10,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours? I'm not sure the details, but you have to have those qualifications, and then you get into the fund where you can get money from AdSense when you do your videos.
Okay, so so any of us can put up some shorts? Is that what I'm hearing?
Right. Now, what I heard was shorts is on a shelf, which is a section in the mobile app that looks like square videos. Like you can swipe that section within the app. They call that the shorts shelf. I think Eileen was here to explain it one time. We were talking about it. You upload the videos, have to be 15, 30 seconds, I think. It can't be more than that. And then I think you have to tag it shorts or something like that. Because I haven't tried it. I'm
gonna look into that, because it seems to me, I was like, okay, it's definitely not on desktop, then it's on your mobile?
No. Shorts is mobile only, like TikTok. Okay. TikTok. Well, TikTok, you can see TikTok videos online, but it's a mobile first video. Like you use it on your phone. So that's what shorts is. I think you could see shorts on the desktop. I don't think you can upload on the desktop. Well, we have to double check that. Like I said, Miss Eileen is an expert on that.
Okay.
But
Carlos says, I watch YouTube on TV, no shorts here.
Okay. Because it is mobile first. So I haven't really paid attention to shorts. I've seen it, but after this we'll investigate. So YouTube wants to give, they're trying to monetize this feature and reward content creators for their content. And they want to lure people from TikTok and Snapchat. Because remember, Snapchat has their spotlight where they were giving away, is it $1 million a day or a week or something? You get the chance to win.
Yes, I remember that.
So so that's still I think it's still going on with Snapchat. They were going to do it for a few months. I think it's still going on. I think they were going to do it for a year. Again, got to double check. I know it was something they had planned for a limited time. and now they are extending it. All right, so the shorts team, they call themselves the short. YouTube Shorts team is working on adding automatic captions. That's really hot now because Instagram did that. The ability to record up to 60 seconds of video through the Shorts camera. So that's why it's, Shorts is mobile. You use the phone to use the Shorts camera is what they're saying. And they're going to add color correction filters and a way to add clips from your phone's gallery. So they are trying to make it more TikTok-like. So you see all of these apps, like they're trying to copy Clubhouse, or they're trying to, do TikTok. Yeah, like Instagram did to Snapchat. Stole. Right. They stole, but
everybody's stealing.
Yeah, everybody's stealing. So basically, look for that. As a matter of fact, let me look real quick at my YouTube and see if I can see shorts. We're taking a little break. I want to check it out because I have seen it. So now, is it the circles or? Oh, right, here we go. So remember, YouTube has stories, but they're not calling it stories. There's little circles at the top, and when you go there, it's like you can post messages to your subscribers, and then if you scroll down, you can see stories. So now are they calling short stories? They must be, because that's it. So now they're calling it stories, and then when you go there, I don't see any short. I thought it was called shorts, but they got a section here called stories.
Now, see, they have both. TJ, they got stories and they got shorts, and I'm like, you're confusing all of us.
See, that's what I mean. It's confusing. So now, when I tap the plus sign, I can upload a video. I can create a short.
Okay, so beta. Create a short of what we're doing right now. Let's see if it shows up on your page.
Okay, so this is. Hey everybody, we are testing out the shorts feature for YouTube on BizChicks. Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
I just saw that this morning. I knew it existed, but I didn't look at it because I often watch YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, but I beam it from either my computer or my phone to the TV, and so I watch it that way. So I'm not often doing and then when I go live to YouTube, of course I'm using an encoder. So this morning I happened to be laying down and just scrolling through YouTube. I said, oh, here is the shorts / whatever feature. So I think I'm going to actually test it out too.
Okay.
So go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, test it.
Because we want to know because YouTube is kind of, if we're already putting videos over on YouTube and we want to do shorts, I think it's easier for us to cut up some stuff we already have. I just need to figure it out.
Right. So when you do the short, you can, YouTube has the levels of visibility, which is public, unlisted, and private. And you can also schedule your short.
Oh.
So I'm going to upload it and see what happens.
So instead of doing an hour or 2 hour programming or whatever, we can do something shorter.
15. Right. So it's still uploading.
Okay, we're going to see how that works. This is going to be fun.
Now, I know on the desktop,
hey, I think Eileen just joined us.
Hey,
Maybe you can explain that.
Listen to Eileen.
Woo!
Hey,
Eileen.
I conjured her up.
Yay!
Hello, beautiful people. What is that y'all talking about today?
Shorts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you need to know?
Everything.
Well, we can't.
No. We want to clarify because I'm looking at the mobile app, Eileen. Now it's there. Okay, now it's there. Before I did a short, Eileen, I didn't see the section called shorts. It was stories. And then I didn't see a section called shorts. So now when I did a short, I went back into the main feed for YouTube. Now I see shorts, but I didn't see it before. That was the question.
Yeah, and actually YouTube is really giving more visibility to the shorts and when you're on the YouTube app, the regular YouTube app, okay, at the bottom where it used to be Explore, now is Shorts. So the bottom tray or row of icons, the first button is the home button. The next button is Shorts.
Ah, it sure is.
So, but yeah, that's new. That just happened last week.
Ah.
Day, because I didn't notice it before.
Yeah,
Me
it just
either.
happened last week. So Shorts are getting. Now I will say, when you tap on that and go into that, those are the shorts that are like, hundreds of thousands of views, maybe even millions of views. But that's what you'll see. And wait a minute, sorry, I tapped on it and I forgot to turn my volume down. So it may be channels that you follow and maybe not. But I'm just looking at like the first three that I saw all had more than 500,000 views. I see one that's 95,000. So these are the really popular. But some of these people are people not necessarily that I follow, but I know who they are. So yeah, Shorts are just getting more and more visibility. Now this one I'm looking at right now is a repurposed TikTok, and this girl has 1.2 million views, and her TikTok logo is on there and everything.
So my question is, so it could be anybody can do a short.
Everybody has access to it now. That's right.
Okay.
And you can use the camera. YouTube has a Shorts camera in the app that has some features. Nick Nimmin did a fantastic video to show all the little things that you can add, the filters and all that stuff. It was so funny because he tweeted something about Shorts. And I said, I just need to know what all the buttons do. And within hours, Nick had that video up on his channel showing exactly what each button does. He was like, there you go. I said, that's why I love Nick Nimmin. So you can just record a video with your phone, because it has to be a vertical video. I guess everybody knows that now, right?
Yeah.
Now.
On your phone, or you can record it on desktop.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know about the desktop part.
You can create the video on desktop. But for me, I would just be on the safe side and send that video to my phone and then just upload it as if it was a short.
Right. So Eileen, if you did it on the desktop, remember there was something about you had to use hashtag shorts or tag shorts.
Yep. In fact, you're supposed to use the hashtag, but now that everybody has it, I don't know how important it is to use that hashtag. But what you can do, and please, guys, don't put the Shorts hashtag in the front of your title.
Okay.
Put it at the end of your title, or you don't even have to put it in the title. You can put it in the description of the video.
Okay.
Then that way it doesn't interfere with your title. But honestly, when people are watching Shorts, they're not even looking at the titles.
No.
Or that's an afterthought, maybe, because the way you scroll, you're just scrolling through them.
Correct.
Right.
So you don't really, you're not looking like, do I want to watch this one or don't I? You actually start watching it, and then you decide whether you want to swipe up.
Okay.
Because you don't like the content. Like I was looking at one just now when I was scrolling through, and it was somebody with this bad acne. I don't want to see that stuff, right? It might have millions of views, but that's not my cup of tea. I'm not trying to look at nobody's acne, right?
Now, the thing, Eileen, I like about YouTube is like the little three dots. You could tap and say not interested. I do that all the time on the desktop. So I'm like, I don't want to see that. Not interested.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And that's so I just saw that on the Shorts, because what it was, Eileen, when I first started talking about this, and then I decided to open up my YouTube app on my phone. It had circles at the top, and then it said stories, and I didn't see the short section. And then when I did a short, everything started showing up, like you said.
Yeah.
So
I think on that's I think that they may switch the order around. Like story,
Okay.
you might see your like as you're scrolling down the app, okay?
Right.
You just go to YouTube and you're on a regular homepage on mobile.
Right.
I think that sometimes shorts is on top and sometimes stories is on top, but it doesn't matter now because they've got that button at the bottom. So
Okay,
if you
good.
want to watch short, you ain't got to scroll. You just
Got
tap
it.
that button. Right?
Right.
So they probably were just experimenting to see if people were more interested in stories or shorts. But they know now they're all in on the shorts.
Yeah. So
You don't
now
even
that
they don't even talk about stories no more.
yeah, because I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be shorts, not stories, but they have both. So now that I'm scrolling, I kept scrolling and now I see the stories. But when maybe my app updated, because I rarely use YouTube on my phone. Maybe the app updated because it has circles at the top. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And now the circles are gone.
Yeah, so everybody go ahead and update your app if you haven't updated it recently.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do that. Do that.
They just made that change within the last, I'll say 10 days.
Okay.
So if you haven't updated your app this week, maybe it was one day last week. I'm not 100% sure. But,
Right.
they talked about it on their Creator Insider. And I didn't know what they meant at first. Because it just never occurred to me. Like, y'all got rid of the Explore button? Because, see, I don't use that, right? But that's a major thing. In other words, after the homepage, the second thing that we're giving priority is watching shorts.
Yeah.
Then the third thing is upload a video because they know we
Right.
want to upload a video. That's in the middle.
Right. Right.
But
That's the one I tap.
Yeah, upload. I mean, watch shorts. They just want because
Okay.
they know you can spend hours on there, just like going down the rabbit hole.
Right. And see now that Eileen, I just tapped my shorts button at the bottom. I saw a short and I went out and now I have the circles at the top again.
So yeah, so they're probably experimenting with that.
Yeah.
Because now, because it really don't matter because they know the visibility is that bottom row.
Yes. Yes. The bottom button. So so thank you. I knew I called her up. Didn't I call her up? I said, Eileen knows.
We was like,
I must have felt your vibe.
Yeah, I said, Miss Eileen was here just talking about we were because we were confused about shorts at the beginning. It's like, what is it? Yeah, so now they have the shorts is out for everybody, I believe. Is it rolling out for everybody as a beta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely everybody in the U.S. Now,
okay.
Maybe there are some countries that don't have it, but for U.S., we all have it.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
Thank you. And
you're welcome, ladies. You're welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen.
We appreciate you, Eileen. Thank you.
We really do because that was so necessary.
It was timely. All right. So we're leaving YouTube. We're moving on to Instagram. Just a few things. Instagram will now let you add your pronoun to your profile. That's a big thing. A lot of these social media apps are letting you put, what pronoun you want to be called. He, she, they. There's a whole list of it. So in your profile, you can go there and change it to whatever you want people to know you as the pronoun that you want to know by. So it's 4 pronouns that you can add, that you can choose from. Okay, so we can do that. Now, Facebook is getting into the test. And remember, I think we talked about this last week with Twitter or the week before, that they have a speed bump. Remember I said they have a little thing that stops you from retweeting without reading
or without thinking.
Right. So Facebook is getting into that. So they have the same thing. They're testing a new interface feature that prompts people to open a link before they share it with the network. So they're trying this out to see if it promotes more informed sharing. So here's what the the message says, you're about to share this article without opening it. Sharing articles without reading them may mean missing key facts. And then it offers you two options. You can either open the article or you can repost it as normal. So remember, this is a speed bump. It doesn't stop anything. And also remember, Twitter said after they tested their speed bump that it worked, that a lot of people thought about reading it before they shared it. They don't have the numbers on that, but they said it worked. That it Twitter says the prompt led to some people to opt not to retweet a story at all. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so people actually would share a story without even reading any of it. I'm just gonna share this. So
The
they saw the title.
The title, yes.
And then they shared it, and it could be clickbait. It could be, and clickbait, by the way, is it's like a bait and switch. The title says one thing, but the story has nothing to do with whatever the title was. It was just for people to click in. And so people, it's unfortunate that people do not read before you share it.
Right.
And thank you, Eileen. Go ahead, Eileen.
Oh, you're welcome. Everybody don't know what you're thanking me for this
time. Oh, yeah. She likes my hair. Thank you.
Oh, she's in both places.
I'm on both places now. Yes. Wait, can I comment on this Twitter and Facebook?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know that probably works for most people. But for someone like me who is always on social media and is really like getting in there, doing a lot of different things, a lot of times I'm sharing something that I've already read. But when I go out to Twitter, I see, oh, okay, that person, let's just say it was something that Terry, she shared something. Maybe I saw it on LinkedIn. Okay. But I go over to Twitter and I'm like, oh, let me make sure I got Terry's Twitter handle right. Okay. So I get her Twitter handle and then I say, oh, well, she shared it. Let me just retweet it.
Yes.
But I already read the thing. Okay.
I was going to add that part that I share. What I share is from people like you, like you said about me. I say about Eileen. I just share it because I already know that it's been vetted or read. Incredible. Also from, like I said, I think I said one time that I shared something from CNBC. I didn't even watch the video or read it because I knew CNBC is a credible source. So, but these are people who don't do that step that we do. Like we check it and know it, or we verify, or we already know that this is verifiable because we follow a verifiable source. These are people that just do it without the knowledge of, like we do.
The flat earth people.
Yes. Yes. And remember, there's a big thing about the spread of misinformation, especially with Facebook and Twitter. So they're trying to stop those people, not us, because we read or we share from a verifiable source. So that not for us. And it is a little pain to get this little pop-up when you just want to retweet because I already know. Right? Like Eileen said, I already read the story. I already know. Or I got it from Terry or Biz Chicks or someone that I follow that I know their information is verifiable. But this is for the spread of misinformation, especially remember COVID, all the COVID misinformation that was going around. So, and 45, that dude. So
right, Eileen, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say,
yeah,
that Twitter really, really wants to address this, and I'm not even going to talk about Facebook because I don't even know what to do with those people. But what Twitter has let the third-party apps do is, people have their RSS feeds on auto tweet. So it could be, if some people retweet every TechCrunch article or they retweet every Vox article.
Yeah.
They read it because first of all, they sleep.
Right.
And they study tweeting. So if they really wanted to address this, they would stop allowing those third-party apps to auto-tweet
yes
articles. Deliverant is another service that does it.
Mm-hmm.
And years ago, I used to do it, but this is what will happen. Somebody engaging with that tweet, they might ask you a question about it. And like I said, you sleep. You don't even know you tweeted it. Not only do you not know you tweeted it, you didn't even read it. Right? Because you got to know all of them. And who or whatever you use to do that.
The third party.
That's what they really need to address.
She's right. She's right. Eileen's right.
So
absolutely.
So this is the case against set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is that automation part where you set things in, like she said, you're asleep. How could you possibly answer or read or know about it? Because you're asleep. Because you sent it at 3 a.m., but you're on Eastern time or whatever.
Yeah.
3 a.m., you're probably asleep. So you have to watch it.
Nice.
Right. Okay, so more about Facebook. So remember this, the app track, what is it called? App tracking feature that Apple has.
Yes.
So they're saying that only 4% of US phone users have agreed to app tracking after the update. Because remember, you can opt out of tracking. Mm-hmm. So only 4% have opted in. So that means 96% is opted out.
And they were going to be surprised by that?
Nobody's surprised. So it's just 4% of American iPhone users running the new software opted into app tracking in the first 12 days. They're saying that opt-in rate climbed to 12% worldwide. But I already knew this. As soon as you're presented with that message, track me, don't track me. What do you think people are going to tap?
Don't track me.
Yeah. So
and it's not just Facebook. It's there are anytime, because when I went into the app, when I went back into some apps to do something, do you want to allow the app to track you? No.
Right.
And then to see, this is the thing, they've gotten our data when we signed up for free. So you've been getting the data.
They got you. That's when I was talking about this on Tuesday. That's the first party data. Remember, Terralina, we were talking about this and I was explaining it. Mm-hmm. So Facebook has been gathering first party or first person data about you ever since you clicked the yes, I agree button to start your new Facebook profile.
Mm-hmm.
Or Amazon or whoever you decided, Twitter, LinkedIn, they all have that. That's in that terms of service, that legalese that shows up.
Wait, if you read the dialog box, if you read the privacy, if you read the terms of service, you would have seen all of that. But most of us just click and go. I don't want to bother with all of that.
And here's another part of that. You could say whenever there's an iOS update, they send you and they ask you to agree, and they send you in the email. It can come to you in email, but you have to agree to the update. So that's another point where you're agreeing to the collection of that first party data.
Right.
Which means first party means that Facebook owns this information about you because you agree to open an account or Twitter or Amazon.
And we've done this, like when you sign up for a new app or whatever, do you agree? And people are talking about, well, I don't want nobody having my privacy. But you just voluntarily gave that to have whatever they were offering you.
Yes.
Right.
Candy.
Yeah. So the only way to get out of that is to not use the app, turn off your phone and stay offline.
Or don't get on there saying stuff that you don't want out there.
Okay.
True. All right. So more about Facebook. They're now testing. Remember, Facebook has all of these Clubhouse things in the pipeline. So they are testing their live audio rooms with public figures and creators in Taiwan. They're testing in Taiwan.
Don't we already have that? Isn't that rooms in Messenger?
This live audio rooms, which is we've been talking about it. We showed the beta and the mock-up. They're testing it in Taiwan. Okay.
What is it? What is the difference? I'm trying to distinguish that from what we already are being offered in
Okay,
messenger
so
rooms,
what we have now
Facebook
in
rooms.
messenger rooms is it doesn't work the same as Clubhouse. They're trying to make it work the same as Clubhouse, and they're calling it live audio rooms. Also, remember Facebook has their new product environment experimental team or something where they were making that separate app. What is it called? Hotline something.
It's like,
Right. So that's going to be a separate app. That's not in Facebook. This is in Facebook. Inside the messenger rooms, they're testing in Taiwan, which is a Clubhouse-like feature for Facebook within the app. So Facebook is testing a whole bunch of different things. With
I'm trying not to sigh on camera, but I'm just
we are confused because
wait, one more thing to be confused about. They're adding a stars feature, letting fans buy tokens to support your favorite. So here's the part where you can get paid because the people that listen to you can buy a token or a star and you get that money. But also Facebook is going to take a cut of that. So
okay. Look, you see us trying to cover our mouths.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say they turned that on my Facebook page, the stars.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, but I didn't even know. They didn't send me a notification or anything. I just so happened to be looking at something else. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I got stars now.
Wow.
Yeah, so they turned it on for my page. And it's so strange, though, because they usually roll out, all these flat screens for you to see, you got stars or whatever, because it's invite only. You can't apply for that stars. It's invite only. So they just put it in my account without any fanfare. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I go start going live on Facebook.
And you know why they do that, Eileen? They want you to be, be happy about it, be surprised, and then talk about it, and then build the buzz. You're the buzz builder.
Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
Yes. So please use your star feature so we can see how it works.
Right, because we should be able to go over to her page on Facebook and I'm gonna go over there now. Let me see.
Actually,
well, I think she had to go live, right, Eileen?
No. On a past broadcast, you'll see the stars option there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's for live streams though, but it works on the replays of the live streams.
Got it.
Okay.
You know what? And let me see. Does it work on any other? I think it only works on replays of live streams.
So it has to be a live stream, not uploaded.
My page is Miss Eileen Speaks. If anybody want to go and see what it looks like.
Yeah, go look. Miss Eileen Speaks. So while you guys are doing that, we are going to move on to TikTok real quick. I'm going to wrap this up. TikTok has a guardian's guide to help parents understand the platform. It's a link in their safety center that if you're a parent of a TikTok user or a teen or a kid and you don't know anything about TikTok, they have this guide where you can go and learn how TikTok works and all of the safety features. So it's called the Guardian's Guide. So it's there. So TikTok has really got this thing going on with the privacy, security, bullying, be kind. Remember we had I think it was Pinterest was like, they had also had a guide telling people be kind on the app. So they have that. So another thing, TikTok is testing a job recruitment tool. You can post resume videos in order to find a job. And this is, again, targeted to Gen Z because, they don't want a written resume. They'd rather do a video resume.
See, so these are the type of people that will come in your company and do what the hell they want, because that's the problem. I think it's great to reach out this way. I think it's great, but you also have to look. The way you got them is the way that you're going.
Yes.
To so
she's right. How you get them, that's what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
this feature will not be inside the TikTok app. It's going to be a web page where job listings are posted, and then they're saying most of these will likely be entry level positions, and then they'll be able to, the TikToker will be able to respond with a video resume. Okay, and one more. Is that a question? Comment?
No, I said that's nice.
Oh, okay. One more. TikTok is testing in-app shopping to challenge Facebook. They are working with merchants in the UK. They're working with one brand right now. It's called Hype, and I looked at their TikTok channel, but it's not there. So it's a streetwear label, Hype. They're testing in-app sales in Europe, and it's going to be that you can buy inside of TikTok, that you don't leave. You don't leave and go to the brand or the company or the business's website. You buy right inside of it. Okay. So they have a dedicated store on the platform. They will, fulfill orders, take orders, and interact with shoppers right in TikTok. And so ByteDance is using this because they want to sell more ads to merchants and boost traffic and take a cut of this business, which they'll probably do. And because of this, there's I found some data from eMarketer. eMarketer says that the retail segment of online shopping, this segment is going to generate $5 trillion in sales this year, according to their projections. And eMarketer is a research company for digital data. So that's what's going to happen with TikTok. They are testing in app stores with this brand in the UK called Hype. HYPE. Okay. And that's it. That's what I have for this week in social media news.
Wow.
Very good.
Thank you.
For the update.
Thank you, Eileen. Because I'm
goodness.
like, I haven't used the shorts at all. So I'm like, and I'm thinking, we need Eileen to come in here and talk about this shorts.
I hear you.
And she showed up. So
isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And it's Dr. Tachi all the way from Clubhouse going to give us This Week in Media.
Good morning.
Good
How you
morning.
doing? Got to have the
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good morning on the West Coast. Good afternoon here on the East Coast, and wherever else you are, good day. So I do have a couple of things, but I just have to say how in love I am with these perfumes that I just got. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. They just got dropped off at my door as we were speaking. And I was like, you
got a delivery.
Melt the world up. So yes, I'm so in love with them. So just had to add that. Don't want to do a whole commercial for them, but Anyway, Howard University has announced that legendary actress and alumna Felicia Rashad is now the dean of the newly reestablished College of Fine Arts.
Wow.
And you know that I am announcing this because I am an alumna of Howard University, a double alumna of Howard. I was not in the College of Fine Arts, but a major very close to it, communication. And I am in academia, in the professoriate. In addition to being a content creator, I am a professor, okay? So the next person who congratulates me on Felicia Rashad being appointed as the dean, I'm just going to look at you. Now, before I give you my feelings on this, I'm just going to keep going with this.
Thank you, Tachi. We appreciate you, Dr. Tachi.
Thank you.
And we acknowledge you. We acknowledge you for all your hard work. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I receive and accept that. Mm-hmm. So there was a comprehensive national search, and it was actually just on Monday that they announced this. And if you don't remember, now, of course, I'm a Howard alum, so I'm looking at all things Howard. When in 2018, it was the commencement speaker was why am I not thinking Bozeman? Chadwick Boseman, and he came out of the School of Fine Arts, and he had a commitment. He voiced his commitment there to reestablishing the College of Fine Arts. Now, at the time, Howard, when I was at Howard, like in the 90s and 2000s, that was the only HBCU, I believe, that had an established College of Fine Arts. And because of funding, it went away, and the majors were absorbed, I think, just in the College of Arts and Sciences. Of course, there was Wahala and uprising then, but it still happened. So, of course, when he came to speak, he was committed to helping to give money and raising money to reestablish that. So now it's been reestablished. There's been a search. Now, we knew that she was on the docket for that before anybody else knew. So you all are just now finding out she's good, but we've known for months that she was in the running for this. So she says that it is an honor. Actually, the provost says it's an honor to welcome one of Howard's acclaimed daughters back home to alma mater. In this full circle moment, Miss Felicia Rashad will take the training and skills that she honed as a student at Howard and exuded as in an outstanding performing career, and she will share those pearls of wisdom with the next generation of students in the College of Fine Arts. Okay, and I think that this is wonderful. Here is my thing. Everybody who's saying, "Oh, that's great, it is nice." A, has she been a faculty member before? As far as I know, no. Maybe teaching a course or two somewhere. I don't know for sure, but she's never been a full-time faculty member.
It says she's been a guest lecturer and an adjunct faculty member.
That does not make you a full-time faculty member. That is very different. Being an adjunct there are people who have been adjuncts for years and teaching one course here, one course there.
Mm-hmm.
No, but as far as I know, she's never been a full-time faculty member anywhere. And you need that experience to understand the workings of the university. And forget about that. I was just administration for like a year because I was the chair of our department. And I was like, that's enough for me because I don't want to do administration. But she's never been an administrator either. So not only have you never been a faculty member, a full-time faculty member, you've never been an administrator. When I was at Howard, we did have chair and deans emerita. We had Ossie Davis was in our department. Bill Duke was in the Department of Film, which is in our school. So we had people, but they were not full-fledged deans. They were like emeritus, or it was like kind of an honorary title because of what they had been able to accomplish. And she is an accomplished stage and television and movie actress, yes, but are you an administrator? Do you understand? And she is a member of the Board of Trustees. So yes, or was. So you do have a little bit of workings, but does that make you ripe for the picking to be a dean? I don't know. And those of us, other people that are outside of academia are like, oh, that's great. Those of us that are in academia are like, because we understand that it takes more than just having a name and being an alum to do a good job in administration at a school, no matter how much you love your alma mater. So I'll leave that there. If you have any comments, please comment.
Well, I like to comment on her age.
Yes.
Now, I'm not commenting in a negative way, okay? But I do think that it's a beautiful thing that at her age, that she has been given this role. Now, I don't know whether that means she'll do a good job or not, but I just say, great power.
Well, and perhaps I'm in agreement with you regarding that, since she and I are about the same generation. But the deal is maybe her real role is to raise money.
Yes, but you are also an administrator when you are a dean.
Well, I understand that part, but maybe her real role and function is going to be you know.
Brand ambassador.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. The deans are the ones that go out and court all these people to bring in money to the school, and having that face and that name. Yes, I do understand, but maybe I could accept it a little more if she was already on this path to academia. And I will say this, the academe definitely needs something different, because what they're doing now doesn't necessarily work, not Howard specifically, but as a whole in higher ed. They need to do something different. They need a change. And maybe this is the thing to do it. But she has a lot to prove. She has a lot on her shoulders. Those people that come from the traditional academic tradition are looking at her hashtag side-eye right now. And that's not rightfully so, but it is what it is. It is a very, academia is a very small club, and people are looking to see whether or not she's going to be able to do this. And a name alone is not going to be able to handle it. But you're right. Her real role is going to be to bring in those heavy hitters that will bring money to Howard. Absolutely. But she's still an administrator. She has never been in the day-to-day role, which is why I'm like, it could have gone a different way. I would have gone.
It may be a short-lived career here too.
Yes. You know, I was going to say the same thing. And it also could be like a figurehead.
Exactly.
A position, because, you know, I'm sure she's had a hit to her income.
I'm sure.
With the Cosby issue.
But do you have to use Howard University at the expense? See, what I'm saying is, and I agree with all of this, but what I'm saying, at the end of the day, the close of business, what matters is the students and the opportunities you are able to bring for them. Now, you definitely could probably bring in money, but do you know and understand and have enough people around you to help you with the day-to-day runnings of this so the students are not affected? You forget about the Hollywood glitz and glam. If I'm getting my degree from the School of Fine Arts at Howard University, I want to make sure things are well run. Do you know how to do it? That's my thing. And that's the thing of everybody who is in academia that I've spoken to. People outside of academia may feel differently, but those of us who work with it and understand, we're like, we hope that you have the skill set and the people around you to make it work.
Well, go ahead, TJ.
Well, from what I read and from what I hear Dr. Taji saying is, I see what she's saying, that I would say more qualified people to handle this job as dean, because it's not about being the figurehead and, okay, you know, you have this career in Hollywood and, you know, you have all these accolades. It's more about serving the students, and there's certain things within inside administration of this position. It's much more than being a figurehead. And like you said, and that's a part of it. That's probably why they decided to do this. And they want to be a brand like Harvard. Harvard's a brand. So you get more money, you get more exposure, everything when you're a brand. But Dr. Taji is saying, well, we're still a school. I mean, we're a brand and a school. It's okay to be a brand like Harvard is world. You know, you could say Harvard, everybody knows. But it's like, okay, is this serving the best interest of the students, where it could have been someone else who came up through the ranks and know the inner workings of being a dean and all of the things that are involved in serving the students' needs, because they're the ones that's paying the money.
I was going to say, because I've not been in the university scene, but I'm thinking she's going to have the people around her to do that part, and they're having her be the influencer that brings in the other part,
right?
Because you can have somebody who has all the academic qualifications, but they have no name recognition.
Exactly.
Right. And that's the other side of that.
Okay, but Taji's saying that this is it's a position where you have to serve the students. And it's not that, right, Dr. Taji, is that what I'm getting from you?
And I believe that's what she's saying.
But you know, they may have edited her job description. We don't know.
They may have. We don't know what the job description is.
Yes, what the terms were for her.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But so for the terms were for her. But what I know is that, okay, the dean also deals with hiring a faculty. So do you know enough about what the professoriate is and what faculty require and need to be able to sit there and negotiate with? Because when you negotiate, I know from what you negotiate with the dean. You go to the dean. There's several points several people you go to, but when it comes to salary negotiations, when it comes to interviewing, when it comes to all of that, you go to the dean. Your first stop is the dean out of that 3-day long interview thing that you go through.
Right.
I remember very well. But is she prepared to do that? I'm not saying she's not. But there's nothing in her past to indicate that, yes, she's going to be able to take on the job of dean. And like you said, we don't know what it is. Here's my other thing with this. And it's not anti-Felicia Rashad at all.
No, we're not getting that.
We're talking qualifications.
No, because they do need, I think schools need to start doing it. Is politics. It is playing the game. It is having a name there. People give to a name. I understand that. My other thing is this gives, in a sense, delusions of grandeur of what you can do. I don't like that it's like, oh, well, all I have to do is do this, and this, and excel in this career, and this automatically transfers my skills to this career. See, this is why the people think that everybody thinks they could be a college professor.
Yes.
Talk more people off of that college professor ledge because they think, oh, I taught X amount of years, and K through 12 is great. But I taught, 30 years at K through 12. Now I can go teach college. No, you can't, because you've never taught adults.
Right.
It's the same thing. So I don't like, because, I sit there, and those of us in the profession sit there and do things to make sure that we are keeping the profession at a standard, and then anybody thinks they can come in and do it. It's just like anybody thinks they can teach communication because they know how to talk and think. The hell you can. So
Dr. Tati, that sounds like a great title for a book. How you talk people off the professor ledge. I love that you said that, girl.
Yeah, and a part of it, what I'm getting from Dr. Taji is, how they give out the honorary degrees to celebrities. They're Dr. So and so and whatever, and it's because of their body of work. But it's honorary. It's not the inner workings of the university, which is a different thing, because you're there to serve the needs of the students and make sure they get the education that they pay for. So that's the question. Can she do? We all know that she's a great actress and she has this body of work and she's been in this and she's a graduate and this, but that's different from what the Dr. Taji is saying, that you come up through the ranks of learning the way things need to be done and run to serve the needs of the students. So I think
I'll leave that there. Terry said it perfectly. I just don't know. It sets a bad precedent.
Right.
Then are all of our schools now going to go Hollywood? Maybe they need to. Maybe some need to.
Who knows? Who knows?
Shape up in academia, definitely. But does that mean because this is halo effect? The halo effect means, and communication means, that because you're an expert in one thing, it's automatically assumed that you're an expert in something else. So
you don't want the door.
Halo effect.
Right. We don't want the door to be open to everybody in Hollywood thinking they're going to be dean of the arts at this school and that school.
Oh yeah, I could be. No, you can't. You have one movie. Which one?
Right. We got it. So, and it's not a knock to Felicia Rashad. She's an excellent actress. She's got a great career. She's done things for the school and for other, the education and everything. So I know it's not a knock against her. It's just,
No.
I understand.
Because I'm sorry.
No, I understand. I understand it.
This was a big story. So I wanted to cover it, and it is a media-related story.
Right, it was big. It is big. Mm-hmm.
So I have a couple of others, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead. We're waiting.
Okay, fantastic. And the movie wars continue with these exhibition houses. Cinemark, who is the third largest movie theater chain in the U.S., has inked a new deal with major Hollywood studios, and it's going to ensure that movies play in its theaters for a certain time frame before moving to home video streaming. Now, this was a big thing because of the pandemic. We saw this with Wonder Woman 1984. We saw this with Trolls Worldwide. Is that what it was called? Trolls Worldwide?
Yeah, that was it.
Right. So we saw this with Disney, right? Well, with a lot of these titles moving direct to streaming and bypassing these movie theater chains. I still say these movie theater
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you.
Like what?
Exactly. You know, that too. So we've seen a lot of these major movies, these producers moving them direct to streaming and bypassing the movie. Well, I mean, and I don't blame them. I'm not going to take a loss because you all are closed. I need to find another way for the product that I paid money for to hit the theaters. You can be big mad if you like, but, you know, we're still going to do it. So now they have reached this. So again, as I said, during the pandemic, these studios have opted to release some of their films either completely or simultaneously in theaters and streaming services at the same time, like Netflix has done. So this devastated an industry that was already very wounded. Their fault, but I digress. So Cinemark said on Friday that these new pacts with Warner, Disney, Paramount, and Sony Pictures is building on a November agreement with Universal Pictures in which Universal films must play in Cinemark theaters for at least 3 weeks or 17 days before moving online. So that still really drastically shrinks the exclusive window that movie plays in theaters from the 74 days or about 2.5 months, which was typical before the pandemic shut down all the movie houses. That's already quite a cut.
Yes.
Right there. So this
I don't know, Tati. It just seemed like those movies were turning over really fast before the pandemic. I was like, wow, it's gone?
Yeah, it's like, I call it the Nigerian model of distribution. So if you all don't know.
I'm not familiar with that.
Nollywood?
Yeah, Nollywood.
Nollywood.
It's the Nollywood model of distribution. So, in terms of distribution, you know, we all think U.S. is big number one. No, India. Well, you know, I don't know this was pre-pandemic. India was number one. Sorry, India was number one. Nigeria was number two. The U.S. was number three. So this is a very Bollywood or It was a very Bollywood or Nollywood model where every 5 minutes something was coming out. Bam, bam, bam. Not necessarily the best quality technically, but whatever. Bam, bam, bam. So that's what was starting to happen until the pandemic.
Okay.
But my question, real quick, is: are they serving the customers, or are they Hollywood serving themselves? Like
themselves, always.
Yeah. So, but see, we're in a new world where customers are like, I want you to put my best interest first, and they got to do that. So people wanted the streaming. Yeah, we're opening up, but people are still going to want some of these things that are happening now. I was reading an article about it. So, but no, I don't want to get off of the subject.
Because I'm with I'm with that. Terry,
I read the article. It was something I'm gonna maybe talk about next week. I'll see. But people are thinking that when things are opening up, because like New York's open up July, the places have always been open, and they're thinking you're not going to want the things that you had when you were locked in. That's not true, because it's about time and convenience. Once you serve an audience, your customers time and convenience, they'll want that. So no longer do I have no desire to go to the movies. I have no desire, because I have a Roku, I have an Apple TV, I have a this, I have a that. I want to stay home and watch it and I'm comfortable. I'm like, I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to get on the subway. I don't have to take an Uber. I'm comfortable. So yes, okay, Hollywood, you have to make money, but serve the needs of the customer. And we've seen it with what's happening now. Everything came to us, and we're humans. We're lazy. If it comes to me, that means that's time. I don't have to go. And I read the article. It says you don't have to go to the grocery store anymore. It comes to you. Instacart, Amazon Fresh, whatever. It comes to you. So we're used to that.
And okay, Carlos, that is a new thing on there. There's like a phone thing on him.
Oh, that means he's on a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Terralina, I don't know what's happening with your is that you?
With my mic. Yeah. I don't know. No, I didn't do it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I'm with TJ. I'm like, why do I need to leave my house?
These companies and corporations are in for a rude awakening, thinking people are going to go back to 2019, before the pandemic. We're not going back to that. I've gotten used to things coming to me. I've gotten used to, oh, you want to watch a first run premiere movie? Well, there it is on Disney.
And
You
I'm
pay
willing
extra.
to pay for it. I'm willing to pay for it
Yeah.
from
It's
my
like,
couch.
you can't put the genie back in the bottle, Hollywood.
Well, the other thing is being able to rent the whole theater for $99.
Okay, that too. So
You know, is that gonna go away, or y'all still need the money?
They'll still need the money. They better keep that program right in place, right where it is.
Right.
And one more.
Go ahead.
One more thing I'm gonna add is that you see how the workforce is changing. I read that Nike and Google and others are allowing their employees to have flexible time, which means they can work 2 hours at home and go in the office 3 times or however they want to do it. So if I'm at home, I'm comfortable. I want things to come to me. So that pipeline of things coming to me is going to get stronger, not weaker. And then I'm done with this.
You're absolutely correct. And I think that the people who survive the content wars, if you can call that the content wars, are the ones who realize that the consumer doesn't want to move, doesn't want to go anywhere, and is able to craft content that will come to them, as opposed to making it a big thing. Oh, well, first it has to go here. Well, I'm willing to wait till it comes to streaming. I'm not going to you because it's not even about not wanting to go out. It's about I don't want to die to go out.
That too.
And I don't trust that.
That is so scary.
I'm sorry.
What? What Carlos says is scary.
Go ahead, Carlos.
I mean, I since I'm entering this content thing at some point, Hollywood is going to go with the money first. And so they're going to go for the consumers that are willing to go outside. There's going to be a major push governmentally. There's going to be a major push corporate-wise to have people go out.
Yes.
And try to kind of go back to normal a little bit. They understand now that there's some potential money-making at home, but they didn't make a lot of money that way. So if they're going to make the big budget films and all this type of stuff that they want to continue to do, they can't survive strictly because you want to stay at home.
Right.
So they have to have a little bit more normalcy again. And, if anything, prices will go a little high.
But Carlos, let's be clear. There wasn't a whole lot of money. Oh, no worries. There wasn't a whole
lot. They were charging like $20 for new film, with the exception of HBO Max and stuff like that. So they're going to make their money how they're going to make their money. And if you want to stay home and they understand that you want to stay home, they're going to charge you up the wazoo for it.
Well, absolutely. But I think there are people that are willing to pay that wazoo.
Yes.
The same aspect of it. And to be honest, most money at movie theaters is made off of concessions and not the movie itself.
Exactly.
So this is why I'm like, they're really going to have to, and you're right, Hollywood goes, they're with where the money is, but this is why Hollywood is in trouble now, because they have not changed their model of monetization or the way they want to make money or the players in donkey's years. Yeah. And they still seem like they're not willing to change things. They're waiting for stuff to go back to normal. This is normal. They're not realizing it.
I'm not eating popcorn. My son used to work in the theater. He said, don't order the popcorn.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Don't order the popcorn. I was like, okay, don't need to tell me twice. So at home, I can bring whatever kind of popcorn. I don't have to worry about trying to sneak stuff in my purse.
Don't butter the popcorn.
Don't butter it?
Yeah, the butter. It's not.
Oh, that's not real butter anyway. So it's kind of like something they just.
I didn't like it when you put butter on. I didn't like it, so I never did. But
so you don't have to worry about. Okay, I got to buy the Raisinets or whatever they got in there. You can
that costs $10 a box. The Raisinets are $10 a box.
Right.
But I go to CVS and get it for $2.99.
But see, again, we are lazy people. And if you're already at the movie theaters, first of all, you're probably already running late. You're not going to go. I don't know that the average person is going to go. Like I will, because I don't like to pay for things anyway over that what I'm supposed to. But the average person will not go to a CVS or a Walgreens and get those boxes that are exactly the same. They will wait till they get to the theater because that's part of the experience for them. This is why they make so much money off of concessions. Beyond the fact that it's convenient.
Yeah.
So,
and it's programming.
It's a whole thing.
We are programmed.
Programmed.
And
well, look, the other thing I had is, I wanted to see King Kong versus Godzilla in a very big ass theater.
Yeah, you're right.
My TV was not cutting it. I don't care how 4K I had it.
No, I feel you, Carlos. That makes sense. But Carlos, you're also Gen X. What we're looking at now is this new generation of consumer, lower end of millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. How do they consume content?
On a phone.
I can tell you. I can tell you
what it looks like.
I got firsthand data. We have big screen TVs, everything. iPad. My daughter, she will watch on the phone. Oh, watching on the big. Nope, she doesn't. The phone, and she's Gen X. The phone. Everything is their phone. That's their lifeline. She doesn't put it down. So there's your answer. I mean, there is, and there's a benefit to going to the movies. Yes, I agree. Big screen, the whole sound and experience. But do we want to do that in the post-pandemic world, or are we in a post-pandemic world? I don't think we are. I think we still. I think we still pandemic.
And then the people that you're the Gen X's and stuff, they didn't grow. Okay, the people coming up. Did they go to the movie prior to this with their friends and stuff?
That's a good question.
Gen Z?
They weren't going to the movies with their friends. They were.
If I have a choice between taking 5 grandkids to the movies and then watching it on the phone, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was an activity of old. Remember, we didn't have all these competing forms of media. Remember when your parents would drop you off at the movie theater?
I was going to say that. Yep.
Or if you grew up in New York, you get on the train.
Yeah.
You stay there all damn day because they had double features, triple features.
Yes.
And your parents are like,
I
don't
miss
come
those
back.
days.
Well, yeah, exactly. But
Let's take it to the other theaters.
I bet you did, Carlos. I know you, Carlos. I know you did. That's why popcorn is $25 a box, because people like
You get refills. Hey, Cheryl. So people, because the kids nowadays, they didn't do that. Movie was not a thing for them right now. They kind of, they're not doing movies.
They do it TikTok.
Exactly. So that's a thing of old. This does not mean it cannot come back. But we have to stop. I think the industry is going to need to stop relying on nostalgia and coercion to make themselves work, and see how they can work cooperatively with this digital world that we find ourselves in sooner than what we expected because of the pandemic. But we're here now. So instead of complaining and suing and trying to do things the old way, let's look at how we can incorporate that, because guess what? This new generation are the ones that will be supporting you. If you don't meet them where they are, look, they can apply through TikTok for jobs. You think they want to come to the theater? Your poverty theater? The hell?
That's what I'm saying. See the handwriting on the wall, people. See the handwriting on the wall. Serve the needs of your audience. If you want to, you want to hire some Gen Z people, you're gonna have to put that thing on TikTok. They're not making a paper resume. They're like, what's paper? What's that?
Right.
How do I do that?
So the movie industry has turned into Facebook in terms of the demographics.
Yes.
They're not Instagram, they are not TikTok, they are not Snap. They are Facebook. The movie industry is Facebook. That's where their audience is.
And here's the thing, there is room for Facebook. So if you know that, the thing is cultivate that audience. I see nothing wrong with cultivating that audience. There are people, well, I'm a filmmaker. I am a bloody filmmaker. So I appreciate the big screen. There's nothing like the experience. But I'm also a technologist. I see where technology and media technology can take us, and I appreciate it. So the thing is, you cannot be stuck on your laurels or stuck on a high horse in some ivory tower somewhere about the ways of old.
Yes.
The ways
Waxing nostalgic. Yes.
I don't think it's a matter of, I mean, I understand the digital thing, which is, again, what
Correct.
I'm entering.
Correct.
But we have to acknowledge the fact that unless they're going to raise the prices on everything, there's not going to be the same type of budgets as we used to have.
You're right. Carlos, you're absolutely right. And I think this is where the industry is in terms of revenue. So some of these major profits and things that were made, even pre-pandemic, those are going to be things of the past. And I think everybody has to be okay with it. But will they be okay with it?
Right.
I think that's the question. Probably not. People, if you're used to netting.
And what I mean by that is, I think my microphone just switched to the car. I think what it means is, just like Netflix had shows and movies and stuff like that that never went to theaters, it's going to be separated like that. There's going to be the certain type of budget movies that will only go directly to digital. And then there's going to be those that are so big budget with big known names that will be in theaters.
And see what this is. Carlos is right, and Dr. Taj is right. But see what this is. What we need to understand is that generic doesn't work anymore. And this is with social media. You don't do generic messages. You do targeted messages to different groups of people. So Hollywood is going to have to get out of the generic. We make a movie that fits this big, and they're coming. You make smaller movies with smaller budgets for targeted audiences. That's why Netflix is so popular. Because there's so much content to choose from that hits a certain audience. So that's what we're saying about Hollywood. You can't make it generic that it fits 18 to 80. No, it's got to be the Bridgerton set, the women from 18 to 45 that like this and that. That's where you have to make your content now. Big budget, blockbuster, they're going to see that's not working. It wasn't working before the pandemic either.
No, we have been moving on, and I think this will be our last story because we don't have any more time. We are moving out of the general interest mass entertainment age. We have moved from that since the age of television in the 1950s into more entertainment silos. Once cable entered the picture, where you didn't only have to watch what was on channel 2, 4, or 6. This is where we started to have these entertainment silos. Not to the point we have now, but we started to see more of a specialization of media and a niche targeting of media toward people who wanted music. You watch MTV, people who like comedy, who watch Comedy Central or something. So there are all these niche channels that have started to develop since the age of original television. Same thing with, and movies have not really evolved to that niche point yet. They still are very mass audience. But I think that is also the downfall, that the fact that they rely on everybody is going to like this type of movie, because that also leads to, we're only going to fund these types of movies because it's not a general interest, general audience. This is why you have this diversity issue. This is why people are protesting. This is why you have no Golden Globes next year. Okay? No Golden Globes next year. Yes. So the Hollywood Press Association has had problems forever with their lack of diversity, their financial practices, and as a result, NBC has pulled the plug on the Golden Globes for next year. So that is one of the primary places where these Hollywood films are, get awards. So again, this is a shift in Hollywood.
Yes.
So if I'm doing things and creating movies because it is award worthy, and they can't tell me that's not the case. Everybody is looking for that recognition, and now I've snatched one away because I've decided you are a dinosaur and the way you do things is not. What does that mean for movies and the movie industry? And think about
think about the movies in the last few years that have been big blockbusters. Marvel, they're targeted toward an audience of that's what we love.
Sci-fi.
Yes.
And see, and they hit that nail on the head because they have the demographics for the 18 to 84 because it was but it's a genre that they hit.
Right. And they gave the audience what they wanted.
Exactly. And they doled it out in stages to the point then they made the shift when they couldn't do a lot to put it out, more movies. Then they went to television with WandaVision and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it kept the storylines alive on a smaller screen.
Because they've got
targeted community. The way the comic books were written.
Oh, well, there's a thought.
So
right.
Yeah, because WandaVision is actually a storyline in the comic book series.
Right.
And so all these are all just like mini storylines that connected to bigger storylines, exactly the way the comic books did. So they're following that route. But the opportunity here, what I see with the digital distribution and all that type of stuff, which is one of the reasons I'm pursuing it, is that content used to be for the big guns, and having digital distribution, having tools like Roku and Amazon and Apple TV and all that type of jazz has permitted people with the smaller ideas to still be able to pursue things and get some form of distribution.
Right.
So I think it's an opportunity here where digital, as always, has blown up the opportunities. It's like an author who used to only be able to go to the big publishing companies and now can self-publish.
Right.
Digital has changed the game in every aspect of every form of media, from music to books to film and television, and access through our phones to our televisions and all that type of stuff without having to go through Hollywood is the opportunity that we should be looking at.
Right. Wow. And remember that digital is the tool. The key is the community. That's why I brought up the Marvel and all of that. It's you're giving that community what they want.
Right.
That's another part of it. You can make the digital part of it whatever, but if there's not a targeted audience or community that wants it, it's gonna just flap in the wind. And that's what I was saying about Hollywood. They want to make these, take that into consideration. Is there a community of fans that already want this, and we're going to give them more, and we're going to satisfy their craving for the content? That's the key.
Right.
Yeah, well, keep in mind also that comic books was very much like Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was Marvel and DC. They were the giants of comic books.
Right.
The smaller comic books were getting no opportunity. So Disney bought Marvel, and Warner Brothers had bought DC some time ago, although now they're in shambles. Okay. And but the smaller comic books had very little opportunity.
Right.
For these digital platforms, Amazon just released, I think it was called Invincible.
Yes.
Which was an amazing cartoon, which was phenomenal art, phenomenal story. There's a ton of different smaller comic books that have now gained notoriety through these digital distribution platforms because Hollywood wasn't going to do anything with them.
Right.
And an example was The Walking Dead. That's one of the smaller comic books.
Right.
That was able to sneak in and make it big.
Yes.
And so a lot of people don't realize that so many stories that we're watching originated from comic books or books, and they can now circumvent Hollywood a lot to be able to bring them into fruition.
And
it's because of digital distribution.
And on that line, that's what happened with The Matrix over 20. Has it been 20 years? They came out in 2000. The Matrix was a comic.
Yes.
And it flabbergasted Hollywood. They didn't,
And see what I mean.
Matrix has a little bit of a controversy because of an author, who had written something that they believe inspired the Matrix.
Right.
And so that became a very
heated
mixed bag of stuff that happened. But yeah, this kind of goes.
So one thing, when I talk about targeted community and audiences, I don't mean it has to be Marvel size. It could be smaller size. That's why we have macro and micro influencers on Instagram and stuff on social media.
Right.
They have smaller communities. I'm talking 1,000, 3,000, whatever. But those people are invested, and so you could a bigger Hollywood could connect with a smaller influencer and still get some kind of revenue that way, and then the smaller influencer gets a bigger stage, so to speak. That's what I mean when I'm talking about community, whether it's large or small. It doesn't have to be large, doesn't have to be Marvel size.
So
go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you're playing to your audience.
Yes.
You just give your
Doesn't matter
audience
the
what they
size.
want, no matter how big it is. Okay, you got
It could be 50 people.
1,500.
It doesn't have to be 300 million.
No, you got 1,500. Talk to them 1,500 and give them what they want.
Yes.
So on a final note on this, because it is now 1:04, everybody here is absolutely 100% correct. I think it is. We're in the entertainment silo age where it is specialized, it is niche, that it is doled out to your liking in a sense. So there may be a whole bunch of people who like it. There may be a little bit of people, but the point is we have way more choice now, which is why these legacy media industries can't just sit on their laurels. There's more choice, so I don't have to watch you. And if you don't give me something to watch, I won't watch you. So this goes for television, this goes for digital, this goes for film, regardless of what it is. So that would be the final word on that. And I turn it over to
Terralina Austin. So
great conversation today.
It was.
It was really good.
Guys, it has just really been a pleasure. I love Fridays when we get into all of these different subjects.
Girl, you started all of this.
I did not start this. Look, I just asked the question, would you pay the ransom? So the question today is, are you willing to pay the ransom for your digital admission? Are you willing to pay the price? I think Carlos said something about having to give a pint of blood or something. At any rate, people, make sure you read the dialogue box, because Francine said we might be giving up our firstborn. TJ, we thank you for all that you do. We want to give a shout out to Eileen for joining us today.
Yes.
Eileen Smith. Guys, follow her over there on Facebook and the other places that she's at, Twitter, etc. And then the other thing I want to say is, Dr. Tachi, I feel you. I love you. And you're still my girl, okay?
Terry, before you cut out TJ, can you address that question, please?
Okay, yeah. So Lennis says, I have a question. Is Facebook doing something with the groups in terms of how much the members see? My numbers are up, but engagement has gone down literally overnight. Any insight on this? Group, I know Facebook, there was talk about putting ads in the groups. Wow. This might be a way for them, group owners, to see, maybe that's where they're going to start putting in ads. I don't know. I mean, I will investigate it, but that was just a thing I remember in the back of my head, that Facebook needs more ad placements, especially with this thing going on with Apple, because they're shuttering the iOS. And remember, I think I said on Tuesday that that it was like 75% of Facebook users are mobile. So this is a big concern to them. It might be a way of them turning down the heat like they did on the business pages. Because when Facebook business pages first came out, engagement was like, woo, like, yes. And they did turn it all the way down. It's like 0.1 something now, unless you run an ad. So this might be Facebook's way. I don't know, but I would definitely take a look. And
so here's my moral to the story. Make sure you have all your people on an email list, or some kind of other list that you can talk to them outside of Facebook. Because if they decide, okay, we're tired of that lab and we're just going to turn that off.
Right. Because we've been through it with live streaming, but this is another thing, Linus, you might want to start. I mean, and everybody is talking about, well, email is old, is dead. It's not. It's like the corded telephone. It still works when you pick it up. So you might want to think about right now starting to build your email list, because that way you can get the engagement going in the group or Instagram or YouTube, because they're on the list, they read it, and you tell them, go see my new video on YouTube, or go see my latest post on Instagram, or go to my website. I wrote a blog article. So that's a way of doing it. So you might want to think about doing that. And it's just unfortunate, but Facebook owns, it's Facebook world. They get to do
the platform.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's what might be going on.
Yes.
Not sure, but I will definitely check, and I'll send you a message when I find out more, Linus.
All right.
Thanks for asking, because that's a good question.
Yes, all right. We pray all is well with you and yours. With that, we want to remind everybody that we'll be here Monday with Coffee, Tea, Thoughts, and Conversations. I just want to thank everybody. Dr. Tachi, we love you. Thank you for holding down Clubhouse over there for us.
And we have Dee in China, Dee, Eileen, Dr. Dryer Buzz, Cheryl, and Dr. Tachi over on the Clubhouse. And Carlos was over there too, and Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you.
So we thank everybody for tuning in today, and we hope you've learned something that will help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.